When your shadow starts walking faster than you do. Tonight, something feels different. Alex told me earlier, just before the tavern doors anchored into an alley behind Water Street, that Vancouver's fog rolled in fast tonight. Thick, heavy, the kind that blurs edges and makes your own reflection look like someone is staring back. And maybe that's fitting, because tonight's story is about that other someone, the version of you that hides behind your heartbeat, the version of you you try not to look at too closely, the shadow self, the part that whispers when you're tired and takes the wheel when you're not watching, the part you swear you're done with but somehow keep inviting back in. But before we begin, let me ask you something simple. If this story reaches you tonight, if it cracks something open, leave a comment and tell me what part hit hardest. It helps these stories find the travelers who need them next. And now, welcome, traveler. Pull up a chair. The Lion's Tavern appeared for a reason, and I think you know why you ended up here. The moment our heavy wooden door swung open to Vancouver's cold night, I felt it, the weight trailing behind the woman who stepped inside. Late 30s, maybe, hair damp from the fog, jaw clenched, eyes alert in a way that told me she wasn't here by mistake. She didn't look dangerous, but her shadow did. Not the kind cast by light, the other kind, the emotional kind, the kind shaped by old wounds, old mistakes. I gestured to a seat at the bar. You're carrying something that doesn't belong to you anymore. She didn't deny it. She just exhaled, like she'd been holding that breath for years. We stayed quiet a moment, the kind of quiet only this tavern can make. That heavy, soothing pause that wraps around you and nudges the truth gently into the open. Tell me, my friend, what are you running from? She sighed. Myself. That answer, I know that answer too well. So, I placed a cup of Earl Grey tea before her. The fireplace flared in its familiar blue-white glow, the color the tavern uses when a story wants to be told. I leaned in, rested my arms on the bar. Let me tell you about the one who followed her own shadow into a mountain range, and the night she realized it wasn't trying to harm her, but warn her. She listened, but halfway through the tale, something changed. I stopped mid-sentence because when I looked at her, really looked at her, her eyes weren't on the story anymore. Her gaze drifted somewhere far behind it, deep inside herself, trembling. Traveler, you don't look so good. She blinked, startled. What's on your mind? And don't lie. Your shadow already told me. She stiffened, not offended, but exposed. Slowly she admitted the truth. How she keeps falling back into the same old patterns. pushing people away before they can hurt her, self-sabotaging the moment something goes right. How her shadow wasn't a metaphor tonight. It felt like a pursuer, something dragging her backward every time she tries to move forward. Her voice cracked. I'm tired of disappointing myself. Something inside me softened because I've been there before. I leaned closer, gentle but firm. Listen to me. Shadows don't chase, they follow. Yours isn't hunting you, it's trying to catch up so you'll finally turn around and deal with it. She closed her eyes, a tear slipping free. Stay with me. Let's finish this story together. I promise it ends. She reached the base of the frozen ridge just as the sun dipped behind it, and that's when she heard footsteps that weren't hers. She turned, and there it was, a shadow darker than night, not touching the ground, not shaped like her at all. It stood behind her, always behind her. The mountains echoed softly, like they were whispering encouragement she wasn't ready to hear. She fled, but the shadow followed, not to punish, but to keep pace. Because every step she ran was a step she refused to take inward. Back in the tavern, the woman listening trembled at that line. I continued. The woman in the story eventually collapsed in the snow, breath burning, heart thundering, and finally she stopped running. The shadow reached her, not to attack, but to kneel beside her. Her own voice, her truest voice, whispered, I'm the parts of you that you abandoned. I'm not here to destroy you. I'm here because you can't heal without me. No drama, no battle, just two versions of the same woman sitting in the snow, breathing the same cold air, learning to share the same life again. She stood, and the shadow stood with her, not fused, not healed in one miracle moment, just together. One step, then another. Because healing doesn't happen when you feel ready, it happens when you stop running. I turned back to the woman in the tavern. Tears streamed down her face, not from fear, but from relief. You don't obliterate your shadow, my friend. You acknowledge it. You learn from it. You walk with it. She nodded, a visible weight lifting. Outside, Vancouver's fog began to thin. Inside, the tavern warmed, the way it always does when someone lets the truth finally touch their ribs. Traveler, every human carries a shadow, the version of yourself shaped by your wounds, your regret, your fear. But that part of you isn't your enemy. It's your history asking to be understood. If tonight's story stirred something in you, that means you're ready to stop running. And if you'd like more nights like this, where the tavern appears, the world softens, and we face your shadows together. Subscribe, step inside again, and tell me the pattern you're tired of repeating. I'll be here, and when the tavern appears next, you'll find your way back.